Jesus, I fucking hate doing this shit. Welcome to another podcast episode. I have been MIA a little bit from doing this. I think the last one I uploaded was back in April. And honestly, I've just been really burnt out in general, but especially from like posting content and getting video of like nice video and stuff of like training dogs and everything. Every time I like go out to like film something, I just like can't. So I kind of taken a little bit of break of posting on Instagram. Um, I've posted like graduation photos and stuff, but I'm not like putting as much effort into my content. I still send like my clients updates with their dogs and like videos and stuff like that. But it's all just been like iPhone quality stuff, which nothing wrong with that. But I've kind of like made my Instagram all professionally done through like a camera and stuff. So I'm like super particular about what is posted on like my main feed. So yeah, it's kind of like not a production, but it's like a lot of effort that goes into filming. And it's summer here in Arizona and it sucks. And so I'm doing like training sessions super, super early with dogs or super late in the evenings. And so it's just been like not a priority of mine, like to film. And yeah, just like being like frustrated with filming and everything has just like not been my favorite thing. So I've kind of taken a little bit of a break, but I'm trying to get back into it. I want to be more consistent with my content and everything and getting like putting effort into it. But yeah, it's been hard. If you are here in Arizona, I feel like everyone agrees to an extent, unless you love the heat, and power to you. But it's like seasonal depression for me is summertime. I do not thrive in the summer. I hate it here in the summer. It's so miserable and it's hard with dogs. Like I said, it's like early mornings, it's late evenings, and just trying to beat the heat and stuff is the big thing. Or I should say avoiding like the super high temperatures because it's still hot. You know what I mean? Like in the morning, late at night, it's just not as hot. So yeah, couple like updates because I feel like a lot of things have changed. I feel like this is mostly going to be like a catch up update video more than like picking a topic. I need to sit down and think of some topics to talk about. I have like a few in my brain, but like actually putting some bullet points together I need to do. But this is gonna be like more of like a catch up update on what I've been doing. So basically it's just been training dogs really. I'm in a slow period right now. I have like one board and train right now, which is super nice. I normally take no more than 3. Every once in a while I'll have like an overlap of like 4, which it's fine, but like I would rather not have that many at a time, but sometimes it's just kind of how it works out. But lately I've been noticing when I have like 2 born trains, like that's where it's at for me. Like I feel like I'm not as stressed. I feel like it's enough workload for me to like give them the attention that they need on top of like the boarding dogs. Like I'll take a couple boarding dogs as well, so it's a manageable number for me and I don't feel overwhelmed and freaked out. And then I can also incorporate my own dogs into my routine because I will say, since I've kind of not been posting as much on Instagram and not putting as much effort into like my social media, my dogs have taken the back seat as well. To be honest with you, it's just been being burnt out. Like the last thing I want to do is train my own dogs. Like I'm already like, yeah, no, I'm like dogged out by the end of the day, and just don't want to deal with any of that. So I'm trying to get into the swing of that. And I did post a video yesterday of my new dog Vega that I got. I've had him now. I think I mentioned it, but if you haven't watched that video, I've had him now for about a month and a half. He's a 1-year-old Belgian Malinois that I got. From Texas. He's not from Texas, but he was living in Texas with the guy that had him. So I just got that dog, and he's a good dog. He's just a lot of dog, and something that I might end up talking about a podcast video, or I might just bring it into this since I don't really have like a trajectory of where this is going to be going in this podcast episode. Is getting an older dog and like not having a relationship with the dog. Just because obviously when you get a puppy and stuff, I feel like you typically like bond with the dog, you know what I mean, and like have a better relationship. So really working on building a relationship with him. And I do kind of want to do a couple of videos of like little reels and like highlights and stuff of like what to do when like you first get a new dog, and like things that I've been starting to do with him, like within the house and everything like that. He's super high energy, super high prey drive. He's not been in the house like a ton, I don't think, where he came from. So really working on him like settling in the house and stuff, because he can kind of be all over the place, and really like trying to integrate him with my dogs, which is gonna be a slow process, because he definitely wants to like, I'm not gonna say go after Polly, who's my corgi, but he definitely like has that high prey drive where I think he thinks she's like a bunny rabbit. I did try putting him with her, and I had him muzzled just in case. It went south because she's little, and I don't obviously want her to get hurt, and she's not gonna do anything to him. And he really wanted to play with her, and he tried to hump her a couple times, and then she kind of growled and kind of went after him a little bit to correct him. I don't think it's a mean thing that he wants to do, but I definitely think it's just this high prey drive. And when she runs around and barks and acts like a goofball, he just wants to chase after her. So the integration process with him and my dog is going to be interesting. All three of my dogs that I have all get along very well together. I don't have any like issues or like things like that. Definitely like there's some management things I have to do. Like I don't leave just toys out for my dogs. Because I could definitely see with having two Malinois, I could definitely see there being possessive issues and like resource guarding issues with each other. They don't resource guard for me, but I could definitely see there being issues with them together. So I don't really leave toys and stuff down. I don't allow opportunities like that. I just rather be safe than sorry. But overall, I don't have any issues with all three of those together. But with Veg, I could definitely see there being a problem. And I mean, he's not been with them since he was little, so just kind of working on that is going to be interesting. And also me realizing that they might not all like just be able to get to run around and be together, which would suck, but I can manage that and everything. So but yeah, he's a good dog, like I said. I think it was actually funny. I had a client today that was talking about when they first got their dog, like, oh, did we do the right thing? It's kind of how I feel with him right now. I was like super excited when I got him, and then I've been busy, and I'm like, I feel like this is a lot, and I feel like I didn't think about this, and I did. Like I had this conversation with my boyfriend before we got the dog. He's like, you're gonna be busy, and this is adding like another thing to your plate. And then I was like, yeah, I know, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And yeah, I didn't truly like process that. So yeah. And then another update with that too is, I think some of you might know, some of you might not know, I had a little black lab, Kylo, that I was raising for someone. He's gonna be a service dog, if you didn't know. And again, I'll probably do a whole episode on this alone, but I used to puppy raise service dogs. And the person that had my original service dog had reached out and wanted another one. So I was raising him for her, and due to unforeseen circumstances and nothing to do with the dog at all, like none of it was his fault by any means. Just it didn't work out. And so I had this lab. He's a great dog. I like wasn't actively seeking to find him a home, but I was also like, I have this dog. I wasn't planning, like he was supposed to leave, right? He was supposed to leave like last December, November time. So always in the back of my brain, like he was not staying, and I definitely didn't have that attachment to him, because I knew when I got him at 8 weeks old, like you will not be staying because you're going to be going to, your new home. So I didn't allow myself to get attached to him. So when it fell through, I was like, dang, I have this dog. He's a great dog, but like I don't want to say that I didn't want a lab, but I wasn't, looking to get a lab or anything like that. So it's kind of like floating the idea of rehoming him. And really I wasn't doing much with him. Again, I've just been so busy. Like my dogs have taken a big backseat, like spending more time in their crate and everything. And just, it's been hard. So I wanted him to find a better situation. Not that he was in a bad situation here, but I just wanted him to go somewhere where, people would do more with him and like he'd have fun and that type of thing. So a client of mine who boards her older dog here, he's a little yellow lab that she boards here, was talking about, she's like, oh yeah, we might want to get a puppy, but we kind of don't want to deal with the puppy stage. She's just like asking about ideas. And I was like, well, actually I think he was a year and a half, almost 2. I was like, well, I have this lab. He's a black lab. I was like, if you guys are interested, like I I would float the idea around with you guys, and we talked, and they met him, and we did a little trial run. He went and stayed with them for like a week. They loved him, and it so far has been working out. Obviously there's like little humps and stuff. I feel like when you get a new dog, even if they're well trained, because he is very highly trained, he's got great obedience, he's great with people, just like very solid dog. Zero behavioral issues. Like he's a dream. And that's why I wasn't really pushing to find him a home, or really like I wasn't advertising him on my Instagram or anything like that, because like for me, I wanted to find the right home, and it needed to be like perfect for him to leave here, because he's just a great solid dog. Like he's great to show clients, he's great to bring to like advertising events, he's great for like play groups and stuff. Like sometimes I get dogs in here that just like are either weird with dogs, or they're not sure if the dog is friendly, or if the dog has like aggression, those types of things. And he's a great dog to put in play groups and stuff, because he's very stable. He's not going to fight back, he's not going to retaliate. Like he's just a very, very solid dog. So he was great for things like that. But they did the trial run, a few hiccups here and there, just like everything, and just like small things like he got into like the pantry because they left the door open, so like going over little things like that, and like how to handle and address those situations. But he's been doing great, and they love him, and he gets along great with their other dog, and I couldn't be happier. And then he comes back here for boarding. He's already came back for boarding like 3 or 4 times since he went to live with them, so I see him quite a bit. And then yeah, so it's been great. I'm super happy. I get updates all the time, and he's doing amazing. And he's living his best life. So they have a pool, and they stay in Boston during the summer, and like he's living a great life. So I'm very happy with that whole situation. And yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. And I've been yeah, I've just been training dogs, and now I'm drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a blank? Um, what other things have been going on in my life? Oh, and I should also talk about where I'm at. So I'm in like the normal place that I was filming, but it's kind of had a little bit of a revamp. I've lived in this house for like a year and a half, and I'm now starting to like decorate and do stuff. And I think like when I first bought this house, a lot of my time and energy was going into getting like all the dog stuff up and going. So I was like getting the runs put together, because I had a little like barn out there, but it needed to be redone. I needed to get my dog room like insulated, AC put in, flooring, all that stuff needed done. We did the field. Like a lot of the first year was really just pouring everything into my business. And that's kind of why the inside of the house kind of like took a back seat. And it kind of makes me laugh when like you see those videos. It's like you had enough money to buy the house, but then it's just like the empty house, and they're sitting on the floor. No, but a lot of my time, money, and everything like that was going into like getting my business up and going. So the decorating process in the house kind of took a little bit of a backseat. Just wasn't my priority. Wasn't super important. And now that I'm kind of cruising a little bit, like again, I've been busy, which I'm so grateful for. Because I definitely feel like when you start a business too, you're like, okay, I'm worried I'm gonna like not be busy enough. Which I've definitely had time frames where it's slow and you're a little stressed, but for me, I'm the type of person where like I'm stressed either way, whether it's super slow and I'm stressing about it being slow, or I'm super busy and then I'm stressed because I have so much on my plate. So either way, I'm just always all over the place, I feel like. But yes, so this is like it's like a little den off like the main part of the house basically. And so we decided to make it like a little podcast room studio type thing. This is where I take all my dog like grad photos. So like all my graduation photos that you guys see with the cute little hat and like the white background, that's all done in here. All like my themed photos, like 4th of July, which came to my mind because 4th of July is literally next week, which is wild that we're already in July. It feels like it was just January. But yeah, so all my like holiday photos, everything like that is done in here. And it was literally just the like backdrop for that, and it was like a table, and it was just like a disaster in here. It was like the catch-all room. It's also where I'd like keep and store the dog food and stuff like that. So yeah, this room has gone put together. We put some, it's not on my podcast because my boyfriend also has a podcast. But there's these like sound panels, these like wood sound panels that look super cool that are on this side of the wall. And then obviously I got some curtains and some like chairs and everything like that. So it's really came together. I'm really happy with how this room looks. And I love coming in here too and just reading. I've definitely taken up reading. Definitely helps. I would say it helps a little bit with my stress, but also at the same time, I don't know, because some of these books I read get me feeling a little stressed for some of these characters, but it's a little bit of a um, escape from reality. Not that I'm trying to escape reality, but it's a fun going into another like world. So reading has been awesome, but yeah, I'll come in here and just like read a book and everything like that. And it's so nice coming in here. So that's where I'm at if you're wondering, because I know my last 2 episodes, because I've been so inconsistent, my last 2 episodes have just been a black blank backdrop. So now it actually like has some substance to it. So that's where I'm at if you're wondering. It's the same room, just kind of in a different position. It's more decorated. So and that leads me into the next project that I'm wanting to do, because there's always something going on around here. I'm planning on converting the garage. So my whole main goal is I want to do a building on the backside of the property. For a training room, because again, with it being so hot out, it'd be nice to have like an indoor space that isn't in my house. I don't mind bringing dogs in the house and training them, but sometimes for me, I feel just like weird being in my house, because I used to work in like a more facility based training, so it's like weird sometimes for me like work dogs in the house. Like it's like this mental thing for me. I don't know why. So it'd be nice to have like a designated spot, like that's where I just go and train dogs and like not be in the house. And just like have a space for that. So what I'm planning on doing is getting a mini split put in the garage, getting some flooring. My garage is insulated. So turning that into like a little training studio basically out there, just because I'm not quite ready to pull the plug yet with putting a building on the outside of the house by the like the field area. I'm just not like ready to pull the plug with that quite yet. Probably something I want to do within the next few years. And that's also something that I've had to like realize. And again, me being always just like stressed and worried about stuff. Sometimes I forget I've only been in business for 14 months doing my own thing. I've worked with dogs for a while. But doing my own business, I've only been doing this for the last 14, 15 months, give or take. April, May, June, almost 15 months. So it is not a sprint. Okay, it is a marathon. Like we're just cruising. Okay, I sometimes have to remember that. So so I'm just not ready to bite the bullet on that quite yet. In the next few years, definitely something I want to do. And then also just so my house can be my house, because my business has like consumed me. It's my baby. Like I've put like blood, sweat, tears, like everything into this. And I would just like to have like a little bit of like a separation of church and state, you know? So that's kind of going to be the plan with that. I have an electrician coming this weekend to look at that and everything like that for the mini split and what I need to do for it. So anyways, that's kind of the plan. And I'd also love to get the dog food out there into like a little cabinet. And I'd also like to move my treadmill out of my house. And I potentially might put my 2 dogs out there as well, Udrix and Vega. They used to be out in the dog room with all the other dogs, but Vega especially, he does not do well being around a bunch of other dogs. Like he's not aggressive or anything like that, but he's just so neurotic and super prey drive and just super high energy that he does not settle out there at all. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the other dogs. I don't know if it's the environment, but he does way better in the house. So I've had him created in my house, and they've been doing fine in there. My big thing is just like the hair and the mess and everything like that. And dogs come in the house all the time. I don't have an issue with dogs being in the house, but I hate when their crates are in my house, because it's just, I mean, if you guys have dogs, you know, it's hair. It's just dirty all the time. No matter how much you clean, it's like dirty right away. And the other part of it too, so I have impact crates for my dogs, because I will be quite honest with you, my dogs are assholes when it comes to crates. Udrix used to be an airline crate. He chewed, it took me a while to realize what he was doing. He chewed the back part of the airline crate, the back part of the crate. I got him out of the crate one day and I see light peeking through. I'm like, what the hell? And he had chewed a hole um, through the impact crate. So he got bumped up to an impact because it's metal and he can't chew it. So he's in there. And then Vega, I have an impact crate just because I'm not even going to test or see what he would do. The problem is I'm having my impact crates, which I'm annoyed about, is they're powder coated. So I don't know what that means, but it's like the texture or whatever because they're like aluminum crates. Well, the powder coat, I've had my impact crates for the last 8 years. And so from the dogs, like scratching and just like the, normal wear and tear of the dogs being on the bottom surface, it's starting to like have this like aluminum, like gray stuff on them. It's on their feet. Like it's just, it gets everywhere. It's not like a powder, but it's just like this, I don't even know what you'd call it, this like aluminum colored nastiness that's on them. And when they get out of their crate, it's on the floor and everything like that. So an impact doesn't have like great, they don't have great customer service in my opinion. If I could have a nice high quality crate like that and go somewhere else, honestly I probably would. So if you're thinking about getting an impact crate, if you have another alternative, honestly, I would almost do a rough land crate over an impact crate, just with one, the expense of them, and then two, like I tried calling them, no one answered. I messaged them, it took them a while to get back to me. So I'm kind of like, I spent all this money with you guys. I don't know. So not a huge fan of the impact crates. They leave my dogs with a gross residue. It gets all over the floor. It's just a pain in the butt. So that's why I'd like to get the impact crates out of the house because it's been making a mess and it drives me literally insane. First world people problems, but that's just something that's been annoying. So, but yeah, that would be super nice. But yeah, the dogs are always welcome in the house. I work on a lot of training in the house because I definitely think in-home scenarios are super important, like the doorbell ringing. My doorbell doesn't ring, but like knocking on the door, things like that. Counter surfing, how to settle in the place in the house, like super super huge for dogs to be able to do that. So but yeah, the crating and situation, everything like that, it's kind of nice. And then honestly for me at the end of the day too, it's kind of nice to come inside when I want to break from dogs and just not have to like see crates and everything like that. So yeah, that's been something that's probably in the works here in the next few weeks. So again, another project to be doing. There's always something here, but yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. Oh, and then I'm going to be taking a break coming up here in September. I'm taking a week off to going to compete with Udrix. You guys might know I talked about him in the first episode, I think. We're going to Idaho for a dog trial, a dog competition, and we're going to be going for our first leg of our ring one. And I signed up for this. I kept kind of putzing around with this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I don't know if I want to do it. I'll just stay home and work. That's the other part. I have a hard time taking time off. So I had the reason why I pulled the trigger to do the competition or do the trial or whatever you want to call it was I had a consult call with someone and they were like talking about dates and stuff, and I was like, I may be going out of town this day, I might not, and I was like, I really need to get my decision made so I can really like tell people like, hey, I can't have you here during this time frame just because I'm going to be out of town, obviously. So I finally decided to pull the trigger on it. And so I literally got off the phone with the client, and luckily they wanted to book the week after. So it didn't really matter for that. But I was like, I got to make a decision. So literally I got off that call and immediately booked everything. My thought process behind this was, if I do this, I'm going to have to commit to working with my own dogs because I'm going to go compete with him. So I got to be working with him. Otherwise, we're not going to do well. So I am hoping that's what's going to get me into the groove of things. So far I've been training him way more than what I was. I definitely took a little bit of a break from training French ring for a little bit. I took I wouldn't even say it was a break. I took like a month off. A little bit of a month off. I was still like doing stuff with him and just like not like anything like rigorous or crazy like what I was doing. It just wasn't like fun for me for a hot second, and I have, and kind of like I was training with like a mentor, and I just wasn't like happy with the training, everything like that. And so I kind of went on my own. And so my boyfriend, who's a decoy, we've kind of just been like working together as a team. And like I've just kind of been deciding like what I want to work on with my dogs and like really, figuring that out. And I was really scared when I decided like, okay, I don't want to have like a mentor anymore. Like I want to do my own thing. Because I thought, like I have no idea what I'm doing, which I am like a baby in French training when it comes to things. Like I've only been doing it for 7-8 years. Like I wouldn't say I'm like seasoned in it by any means, but I have an idea of what to do and things like that. So I just decided like for me personally, I'm not a follower. I have lots of questions, and it's not to like, you know, question people, but it's like so I can understand. And when I don't have like a firm like this is why we're doing it, it doesn't make sense, I'm kind of like, okay, like I don't agree with this. So um that's kind of what I've been doing with the ring stuff, and I'm starting to like have more fun with it again. And that's really all that you should be doing with your dog, is like whatever you do with them, whether you just have a normal pet and you're just doing like fun training stuff, or whether you're someone that does like agility or whatever dog sport that you do, you should be having fun. Like it should be fun. It should not be, it's not serious. It's really not at the end of the day. And so yeah, that's all that I've been really like wanting to do, is just like have fun. So definitely it's been fun again for me. And yeah, so we'll be going to Idaho. We'll see how he does. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And honestly, it'll just be nice to get out of the heat, because September is still hot here in Arizona. If you guys did not know, I feel like people are like, oh, like we just have to survive until like October. It's hot here from like May to like November. Like it's pretty bad. Like I remember last October, it was like 110, 115 out, and it was October. So it doesn't, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But last summer was pretty rough. This summer hasn't been too bad, but we're getting into July, and July is typically where it gets a little rough. July and August and September are pretty rough months here. So I don't want to speak too soon, but yeah, it's not been terrible so far. But yeah, September is normally pretty hot, so it'll be nice to get out of the heat. And Idaho's beautiful. I have been to this trial before. I went with my older Malinois Gambino like 2 years ago. And it's like in the Coeur d'Alene area. It's beautiful. The weather is nice. Like it's just so nice up there. So I'm excited to go up there, and I love going to Coeur d'Alene Lake and like cruising around. It's a great place to take a dog. And yeah, just doing something fun. I wish it wasn't for a like dog trip, but I will only have my one dog, so it won't be like too overwhelming. And I am planning on taking a little of a break from just dogs entirely. I'm just trying to figure out like dates and stuff, just because I do have people that book so far in advance. So I'm trying to figure out like when I can really like take time off. But I would like literally, even if it was just like 5 days of not having any other dogs here, just my own. Because it's when you think about it, and a lot of people I feel like don't, but when you think about it, like when you do your own business and everything, and I love doing my own business, it's been so amazing. It's one of the best things I've done for myself. But you are the morning shift, you are the evening shift, you are the weekends, you are everything. And I really haven't taken a break since January, which is my own fault, but I haven't really taken a break since January, and I'm like feeling it. So I'm just ready to have just like I said, 5 days a week max, just to have like nothing here, and just be able to have like a slow morning, just have my dogs, that type of thing. So that is gonna be a plan, hopefully, that I'm gonna set together, but then it takes brain power, and I hate thinking about it, and then I just keep putting it off. So we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of everything that I have going on right now. And then yeah, and also too, I've been kind of staying off the whole social media thing. There's been a lot of just drama I've seen in the dog training world. I feel like there's drama in everything, in like any profession or anything going on in the world, but there's been a lot of drama. I don't know if you guys follow a lot of dog pages or anything like that, or if you're a dog trainer that's watching this too. I feel like there's been a ton of just drama between different um dog trainers and stuff, and it's crazy, and it's like I have a hard time sitting there and seeing that stuff. So I've kind of been like not on my business Instagram, not even my personal page as much, just because it's exhausting, and I get tired of this way's wrong, you're wrong, everyone sucks, this way of training sucks. Because for me, in my opinion, and maybe I'll make a whole podcast episode on this, maybe I won't, I don't know. Um, I get tired of like there's one correct way to train a dog, because let me tell you, every single dog is different and not everything works for every single dog. And dog training really is an art. There are like definitely some like basic things that are, I would say, universal, but overall it's an art as well that you can kind of like throw in your own, style of training and everything like that. And then also it's based on the dog too, because there's not a one size fits all, unfortunately. And I've definitely struggled with that too, of like, I wish it was, but it's not. A dog's a living being. It's not like you can say this is like this normal case X, Y, and Z. Like you can do with like, I don't know, nursing or being a doctor or like working in a bank and stuff, where it's like this is just protocol. There really isn't that when it comes to dogs, and it's the cool thing, but then also the unfortunate thing. And also there's just no regulation within dog training, and that's the other part of it too. And people are like, oh, I'm certified and this, that, and the other. The certification doesn't really mean anything, because there's no set standard, unfortunately. And I wish there was, and maybe at some point there will be, but I just get tired of the constant negativity and like calling people out. I mean, if someone is doing something like terrible, like abusing a dog and things like that, for sure, I understand calling a person out like that. But just because you don't agree with training methods when it comes to like using a prong collar and e-collar and things like that, I don't agree with that. And I also don't agree with slandering people that want to train purely positive and all those things. Like, power to you either way, because at the end of the day, there are clientele for both sides of it. So whatever makes the client happy, whatever they're seeing results with, it doesn't matter. And what I will say too is like, there you're not you might not resonate or get along with another trainer. So I feel like personality and everything is huge too. It was kind of like for me with deciding to like pull back on my mentor I was working with in French ring. It just like it just wasn't working for me, and like that's just my personal opinion. And I'm like, I don't want to do this with my dog anymore. Like, this isn't my style. This isn't working to obtain the goals that I have. And my number one goal with my dogs is to have fun with them and have a good relationship with them. So for me, like, being the best and winning isn't everything. And so that's why I decided, you know what, I'm going to go off and do my own thing. So I think it's very normal too. Like, if you don't vibe with a certain trainer, and this can be anything in life too, not even just dog training. If you're not vibing with a certain person, or it's not going to lead you to where you want to go, don't surround yourself with people that just don't have the same goals or direction that you have. Because life's too short, and I've put myself in those situations before and stuck out with things that I shouldn't have for far too long. And now at the point where I'm like, if I'm not happy and it's not serving me, I'm moving on to the next thing. No hard feelings, nothing like that. But I think it's super important to be an advocate for yourself and for your dog especially, because at the end of the day, you know your dog better than anyone, and where they're going to do the best at, what their needs are, everything like that. So I think that's super important to note. Even because, like, for myself as a trainer, I might do an episode on this too, of like picking a trainer, but like, there are some people I have a consult call with, and like, nothing that I do wrong, nothing that they do wrong. It's just like, we don't vibe together. You know what I mean? So I think it's super important. And also, like, for me is like, I won't work with just everybody, because I want to make sure that we have a good relationship as well, and we get along great. Because for me, that's like my number one priority, is the relationship with the client. Obviously, the relationship with the dog is important too, but the relationship with the client for me is like number one importance. So I think that's also something to remember and to kind of keep in mind of. So yeah, it's been a lot of like learning lessons, a lot of growth this past year, basically, since starting the business. I'm super grateful for how everything's like panned out. It's awesome, and it's all thank you to all my wonderful clients and everything, because you trusting with your dogs is what keeps me in business and keeps me going. So but yeah, it's been good, but yeah, it's been stressful too. So, yeah, I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna set a consistent schedule for myself for podcasts and everything like that. She's like, because I need to slow my talking down. Because I can't really commit to that. Just because for me, my number one priority is making sure the dogs are trained. Like that is the number one thing for me, taken care of as well. But, um, so sometimes this stuff just gets put on the back burner because it's not my number one priority. And it's more important for me making sure that dogs are taken care of, they're trained, they're meeting their milestones, their goals, what their owners, want them to be doing. So, but I would like to be more consistent with this. And I'm debating too if I want to make it all about dog training. I definitely do want to talk about like dogs and dog training and that type of thing, but I also think it might be fun to have different things to kind of talk about. My goal that I'm kind of like shifting with this podcast is more about you guys getting to know me better and like knowing my personality and stuff like that. So we'll see where it starts to, head towards and go to, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. And then again, I'm hoping to do some more training sessions with Vega, and I'm also thinking about maybe doing a style of video like that, but with like client dogs. So, like when I start, like what an entire first session looks like with the dog, so people can kind of see that. I've kind of been bored with like my like highlight clips that I've been doing. They're just super bland and boring, and I want to do something like fun. I feel like watching a dog heel, sit down, and lay on a placement sometimes is just kind of like meh. I don't know. So I want to start coming up with different and cooler ideas, I feel like, for content that I want to post and everything like that. Um, and also, like, for me, is like, I want fun, interesting content, but also, I'm not trying to be like, I don't want to say problematic, but I'm not trying to make waves in the dog world. I just want to train dogs, get like cute, fun content of them. I'm not trying to have online battles like some dog trainers are, or, having like crazy comments and like arguments with people. It's just not what I'm about. I have better things to do. So I just want to focus on my business and also get better with myself and like always improving, because that's the other thing with dog training is there's always new like techniques and training and things that you can implement, and that's one thing that I've kind of been putting a lot of time into right now as of recently. There's been this new training, it's training without conflict, if anyone knows Ivan Bablov, or I don't know how to say his last name, but I've been watching some of like people that have like done the schooling, and I purchased some of his training videos and stuff, and I've been implementing some of his stuff into my training so far. This is like super new, by the way. I've been doing it like the last about the last month, last 4 weeks. I almost said 4 months. Last 4 weeks. And I've really, really enjoyed it. And it's just very different. It's a different approach. And I'm always like very open to like new ideas. I'm always interested in like how other people are training. Like, tell me why you do this. Like, how do you approach this? And I feel like some trainers and stuff are like more like want to keep their stuff like secret. But I just love to ask questions and like see how other people do things, and like, like I said, not everything works for every single dog, so I do like to like try and implement new things. So I'm always willing to grow and continue like with the changes and everything like that goes on in the industry. So I've definitely been watching a lot of videos, and like it's got my wheels turning. He has a certification program that you can do. I've been toying around the idea of doing it. I don't know if I want to or not. I don't know. It's complicated, but I have definitely been thinking about it. And I guess my only hesitancy of it, one is I've been super busy, and it's basically like school, and not that I can't commit to it, but it's like then I'm gonna have to double down, basically add another thing to my plate. So I'd have to kind of eliminate a couple things to like make it work for myself, which I'm not against doing, especially if it like helps me grow and everything like that. So that's something I've kind of been thinking about. And again, for me, the certification part of it isn't the most important part, because there's no real, set standard when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, it's a different way of training, and it's very interesting, and I've enjoyed learning about and stuff. So that's something new that I've kind of been doing with some of the client dogs I've been working with, especially some of the dogs that have like reactivity issues, or I don't take a lot of aggressive cases. It's not my jam. Nothing against aggressive dogs or anything like that, or trainers that like to work with it, but it's not like my most favorite thing to do. Reactivity and things like that I'm okay with working with, but the real aggressive cases I'm not a super huge fan of, like people reactivity or like being scared of people wanting to nip at them, like that's stuff that I'm fine with working with, but like true like want to eat you dogs I'm not a super big fan of, especially when it comes to some of these big dogs. I don't know, it's not where I'm kind of at right now or have any interest working with right now. So but it's definitely helps with dogs with some reactivity issues and things like that. I've definitely seen a difference with implementing and applying those things. Definitely a learning curve for sure, but I've definitely enjoyed it. And I've implemented and started implementing some of it even with Vega that I just got. So um, definitely learning and growing. And yeah, so I think that's everything that I really have to say. Um, but expect there to be some more videos. And if there's anything specific, I should do like a poll or something on my Instagram. If there's anything specific that anyone wants to like see or wants me to film, I'm always open to like ideas. Like I said, the inspiration has been out the window lately. So if you have any ideas or something you want to see, I think you can comment on this, or you can shoot me a DM or anything like that. But yeah, I think that's all, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.